Hi everybody, welcome to our Spring 21 Spring Step presentation. Thank you all for joining us, we really appreciate it. I'm going to try to stay on time. I know it's not always easy for me because I get a little wordy, I get so excited about the product. But we're here to talk about Spring Step. And who is our Spring Step gal? Well, she's very classic, she likes comfort, she doesn't mind a heel, but she definitely wants it to be comfortable. So we're going to show you from low flats to mids to highs, and our highs have nice platforms in the front. So we're going to also take you around the world. We're going to go from Turkey to Spain to Italy, and I'll let you know when we get there. Okay, so thank you very much, and away we go. So the first product that we're going to show you is part of a group, and these are pretty edgy. They're a little bit more Euro than perhaps you're used to from us, but we are European comfort, so everything is inspired by our European designers. And in this particular case, we're in Turkey, and we're going to stay in Turkey for a while. So the first style, Mazu, and I'm not sure if Larry mentioned earlier, but on the lower left-hand corner, you're going to see in between the nines is our price point. So anytime you have a customer in the store and perhaps they're looking for something special, you can pull out the catalog and you can show them everything that we have to offer. And because we're open stock, which makes us so easy to work with, you can order 1 pair to 100 pair in your sizes. And that's what makes us special, in addition to us having reps that call on you and having a great e-commerce, e-service site, and also at-once delivery on some of our items, and which is the open stock part of it, which is so cool. Euro sizing, which you all know, is also a very nice feature because you can carry less SKUs in the store. So because of the way we handle our sizing, which you're all familiar with, it's also in the back of the catalog, that will tell you what size ranges your customer will fit into. So, Mazu. Mazu, as you can see on our model, is a really nice slide, and it has a little bit of an edgy outsole. You can see some striations on this, and I think we can capture it in here. Maybe in the black it'll be a little bit better. But you can see those vertical striations, and that gives it a little bit more interest on that outsole. So the yellow, and this is all leather, it's leather lined, leather upper, and also leather insoles. So you can see a little bit of toes peeping through there, and you see some nice stitch detail on what looks like some pleating. Comfortable footbeds, very, very gentle pitch. It's a 2.5 inch, whoops, it's a 2.5 inch wedge part here and a 1.5 inch here. So you're talking about a very slight 1 inch pitch. Okay. The sibling to Mazu is style Mexenzi, and she is a closed back. So for those of your customers who don't want to show their heel, this is the perfect place where she can still have a lot of breathability because her toes are showing. And she's got that trend going with the Mary Jane. So that baby doll Mary Jane trend in a very cool European, a little bit edgier style. This is where a lot of our customers will also go because of the stability of this ankle strap, quarter strap with a little bit of stretch behind there. And again, that same cool striated wedge outsole. And just like we saw in the first style, Mazu, Maritza is the same front. Her vam comes up a little bit higher, but she has the back strap. For those of our customers that can't do the grippies with their toes, we do have the adjustable hook and loop closure. She's all leather lined, as was the other two, and a perfect accoutrement to a gal's summer wardrobe in the black and also in the red. We took the white out, just as an FYI. And a little bit of a lower outsole, but that same edginess that we're seeing all through Europe and going forward. And again, for that comfort cycle that we're in, even more than normal based on what's going on in the world and people nestling a little bit more at home. So lots of flexibility, soft, perfectly soft, smushy little insole there. And I like the fact that this outsole splays out a little bit, so it's like more like a marshmallow outsole, and it's got a rim, an inlay on, I'll show it here. You can see it on the white, so each of the outsoles will have sort of a sneakery or an active inspired look with a drop down on the outside of that, I guess it's the midsole, so it drops down a little bit and it cuts right into that outsole, so it takes a dip in and it looks like it has sort of a welt detail. This is an adjustable strap with stretch behind. okay? And two-tone colors in each one. And look at the asymmetrical front, so it's got good foot coverage, a little bit of sexiness going on there. In the same construction, we have Marley's, and Marley's has, in this case, she's a slide, so she's easy in and out. So for the customers, you have an option of a back strap and also the slide. And the slides have been really popular because this is a great, great, great option for a lot of the fluffy slippers that are right now out in the marketplace. And this has a little bit more style, I would say, as a very classic cross strap with that front straight strap there. And again, lots of padding, flexibility, and a real edgy, nice insert into the outsole. These are all leather. They're all leather lined and leather insoles. So we're going to take it down a little bit. Oh, I didn't give you the dimensions on that last one. It was 1 3/4 and 1 1/2. So it's 1 1/2 here on the up to the top of the footbed, and then it goes down to 1 1/2 in the front platform. Okay. So style Genosa. Genosa's really cool. Again, she's all leather, and she has a basket weave effect. And the one special thing about her, aside from the flexibility and the comfort and the padding that you're seeing, and you can see on our model's foot how flexible she is, she also has great foot coverage, right? And in this basket weave, you can see this is all genuine leather, and she's leather lined. There's a little bit of sort of rick-racking edging here. So the basket weaves, which is authentic, it comes through on the front and also on the back for a little bit of design detail. Great colors in the coral, the lime, and the white. And again, for those customers who need the back strap because they can't do the grippy thing, we have the Jelsi, and it is the same basket weave effect. Let me show you in the camel because it's really smart and really pretty. On our model's foot is that beautiful color called Sky. And then here we have our camel. And I just want to point out this back strap. Aside from it having a little bit of padding in the back, it's got this asymmetrical shape. But look here. Right in there, it's got a little bit of elastic. There you go. That customers, it will keep your, let me show you. It keeps the customer's ankle really stable in there, and that strap won't slip down. Again, foot coverage galore, flexibility, and padding. A little bit higher outsole, and yet this is a very interesting outsole because it has a sliver wedge effect that you can see, and it also has a heel, so it's a one-piece wedge in a sliver. Lots of flexibility, all leather lined, and a very, very cool upper. So you have that asymmetrical strap with the front strap on the top with a multicolored arrows that I think are really pretty. And on our model's foot, you can see her in the mint along with the tan and the white. Really pretty coloration and a beautiful summer sandal with all-day comfort. Next style is for Florenci. Florenci has a little bit more coverage than what we've seen so far, and the special part about her is, again, for the customers who don't like to show their heel for whatever reason, this has a whole concealed heel here, but with lots of openness, easy in and out because of the stretch on both sides. Beautiful foot coverage on the front, and as you can see in this leather, it is just, all the leathers are absolutely delicious and scrumptious because they're so soft. But you also have these nice, I'm going to say embossed and tooled daisies with some pretty perfs. And you have the gray, the camel, and also the black. All gals love a sexy slide, and this is a really sexy little flat side, perfect for the summer, perfect for parties, and yet you can wear her around the house with a pair of cutoffs or a pair of daisy mays, right? So we have different colorations here as far as your wearing ability. On our model's foot, you'll see what we're calling the bronze. And then we have the black patent and also the pewter. So we're talking about shine here. We're talking about a little bit of glitz. You have a squared off toe, so it's fashion right, and it does have an angle, and yet you also have a very low heel, and you can see how it pitches into a little bit in the front there. So that's also really nice and fashionable. And when you look at it on our model's foot, she has great foot coverage, right? It's hard to see it in the black patent, but when we get into showing you how she looks on the foot in the bronze and also on the pewter, she has really great sexy V in both the top of the vamp and also at the toe. Again, leather lined, leather footbeds, and leather uppers. Akelia is a really fun style, and we had fun when we were doing the development on her for a couple of reasons. We liked the fact that we were able to find this material to wrap the outsole. So it looks a little bit like an elephant skin, so it's got a lot of texture in there. It's still all leather on the inside. Look how flexible it is. And really, really comfortable with great foot coverage. But the other thing that we liked about her when we were developing is we did a little bit of a different design. We have the circle leather here with the wrapped in between, and we wanted to put some edgy spots on there, so she just had a little bit more edginess to her, a little bit more oomph, and the colorations in the white olive and the color that we're calling mango is really special. Elodia is that same construction, so she is a 1 1/4 from the heel to the top of the insole and 3/4 in the front. So she's barely a pitch, she's very flat. But look at how the back strap holds the foot at such a great angle. So she almost forms an X in the back, which I think is really cool. She's got a great buckle with stretch behind, so that is adjustable. And then the twisted perfed straps in the front. On our model, you have the two-tone as you do in this, in the orange multicolor, and then the black, which has the black insole, is perhaps maybe a little bit dressier. But I like the way these leathers just twist on each other. They're very, very soft and flexible. It is like a glove leather, and whatever foot ailments your customer might have, because of the smushiness and the deliciousness of these soft leathers, their foot will just meld right into the leathers. Synergy. So Synergy is pretty cool because she is a very simple slide, very easy to get in and out, obviously. She's all leather lined, leather upper, nice and flexible, as you can see. But look at it. She's almost like an accordion. So depending on the girth and the width of your customer's foot, that will fit and eventually just mold after 1 or 2 wearings. It will just mold right to your customer's foot. Great foot coverage, as you can see from our model. So again, any toe or bunion issues will just fit right in there. And the other thing that I wanted to point out is the shape of this footbed. So it has a little bit of a curve in there, so it's really supportive, and the foot nestles right in there, as you can see on our model's foot. And great coloration with the blush and the white and also the camel black and the blue. Similar in construction is, again, Ishtar with great foot coverage and delicious soft leathers. But in this case, we have a toe loop in the front. And the fact that the toe loop is nice and roomy and won't pinch any of the toes, and then yet the soft glove leathers up here has the perfect coverage for the basic part of the entire foot, really. Again, leather lined and very, very flexible, and you can see how great the foot is nestled right in there. She also's got a little sort of Sharpay sort of creasing in there as well, which makes it a very, very fashion right. Next style is Lindsay, and Lindsay has the cross straps that come up front of the ankle, and as you can see on our model's foot, it's got like a really nice sort of high, almost gladiator type effect. And when you look at from the side vision, you can see in both these colors that I'm showing you here, you have a brown accent on the black, and then you have this really pretty gold accent on the white. And these are that's a navy, excuse me, it's not black, it's navy with the camel. So it also has that same flexibility that we've been seeing, and it's all leather lined. And this is almost like a tubular leather because it's doubled, so it has a lot of body, so it has great shelf appeal as well. Everybody loves a little Oxford, right? A little lace. And so for the gals whose petty isn't just perfect, or she prefers maybe a walking shoe that's closed, maybe she works in the city, or she, has to be outside for a long time and she doesn't want to get her feet sort of smogged out. So here we have the Theone. And the Theone has these fabulous laser cutouts in all different shapes, and you can see it particularly well on our model's foot in the beige. So it has a cap toe effect, right? It has the laces, and so when we have our laces, and somebody laced this up so well that it's going to be a little hard, but I wanted to show you how great the laces work for somebody who has perhaps a little bit of a wider foot. You can open it up all the way, and there you have all this extra room. And because the leathers are so soft, the leathers will form to the foot immediately. And it has got great air conditioning on both sides and also on the top of the vamp. Really cool shoe for a closed up shoe person. The Delorsi is a fan favorite, and we're going to show you the color assortment here as we open up the screen for you. So here's a great way to make a fabulous presentation in the store, and you can see all the beautiful colorations that you have. You have your cores, your black, your camel, your blue, and then we also have a really great navy and white, so you can do a nautical theme as well. And then we have the yellow. So look how great this would be for a summer presentation. And then if you wanted to bring it in a little earlier or later, maybe you go into some of your core colors. And then you just add on your fashion and you have an amazing presentation. This is one of the styles that I always like to tell you that our girls downstairs, we have a 2-story building here in Florida, and the girls downstairs, just about everybody owns this shoe because she's so comfortable. She's great for, you know, kicking off under your desk if you need to, but a slip, quick to get back on. She's amazingly flexible and comfortable, and yet she's got a great look. She's very, very fashionable with that slightly pointed toe and that woven extra piece of leather. So she's leather lined, leather upper, and also leather footbud. Her sibling is Perlita, and Perlita is the, I guess the kissing cousin here, because she's really very, very similar silhouette, except she's a little bit more closed up. So Perlita has all of this really nice scalloped edging that you can see. I'm barely touching her, and you can see how flexible she is. She's leather lined, she's super duper comfortable, and she's got a really nice leather footbed. And you can see here's where you have the red. So you could do a red, white, and blue summer story if you wanted to do something like that. And then you can add your yellow for a little bit of pop, and you have your basics. So the joy of working with spring step and spring footwear is that we have at-once availability, and that's the key to filling in and making sure that you never miss a sale. You have your RE service system, which I hope everybody is on, and if you're not familiar with it, please ask your rep. And that's where you can look at our live inventory feed and order what you need when you want it. You know, we're drinking a glass of wine or having a beer at the end of the day, and you're just checking your inventory. You go into e-service, you see what you need, you place an order, and away you go. Okay, so the next style is Daisy Love, and Daisy Love was named after one of our gals here who's working with us today, and this was one of the shoes that she loved, so we named her Daisy Love after Daisy. And what we love about her, aside from loving Daisy, is that she's got a really cool round cylinder heel, and the heel is approximately 2 inches. Okay, she's got a great coverage in that vamp, and you can see on our model's foot just a little bit of peep toe hanging out there, just a little bit of sexiness here, and she's got the G bit that we like to talk about, so that she hits that spot, right with that nice classic bit. Okay, Delia. Delia is another one of our wonderful leather sandals, and she has an elastic behind this nice buckle. The buckle even has a little bit of a keeper. So she, again, leather lined, leather upper, and look at how pretty these perfs are. So on our model, when you look at her, you see that she's got this asymmetrical full coverage on the outside. So anybody who has any sort of foot problems on that side of her foot and also on the bunion side, she's going to be perfectly covered up, super duper comfortable, really, really flexible. You can see that as a dressier type shoe that can be worn in multiple wearing occasions, because that's what's going on in the market right now. Accessories are it. People have all their apparel. They're looking for different ways to spend their money. They're not going out as much, but when they want to go out and they want to make an investment buy, they're going to invest in accessories. So we are perfectly situated, as you are, in the footwear market to offer different colors, something that they don't have. Allow them to buy multiple colors in something that they need. Oh, they have to have their white? Well, why not get the beige as well, or the red? Again, a great style here in Mandalay, and I love the fact that she's got these really pretty star cut out perfs and also some etching right around them as well. And look at what great foot coverage she has, where she comes up a little bit higher on the vamp, and then your foot is nestled right in there in the front on both sides, where the toe and also that bunion might sort of pop out or hurt or give your customer a little bit of angst. Very, very soft, smushy leathers, and again, leather lined all the way. Similar style with the same great foot coverage is style chains. And we called her chains because she does have these nice chain design cutouts here. Not only does she have the cutout in the perfs, but she's got all that great etching as well. And so she has a little bit of a resemblance of a T-strap, but a little bit wider. So you have a little bit more stability, and also you have a little bit of air conditioning on the sides and great foot coverage. Look how pretty she is from the side. So this is a functioning buckle that is adjustable with stretch behind there. Style Dorotha is a key item for us, and for those of you who have tried her before, you know the importance of being able to fill in. Because Dorotha, as soon as she comes in, she sells out. And the best thing about Dorotha is the foot coverage, the comfort. She's got all of this great wideness in the hook and loop closure, and really kind of cool cutouts, right? Where you have different shaped pyramids and sort of half diamonds there squared off. A approximate 2-inch heel. She's all day comfortable and a little bit higher on the vamp, so it's almost like a shootie in a sandal. Great reorder style for us. So this little nugget here is one that I own, and as you can imagine, I own about a bazillion pairs of shoes. And the reason I bought Nugget is because she is you know what, believably comfortable. So she has a little bit of a wedge. I have her in black. She's flexible. She's got this amazing arch support. I don't know if you can see it. Let me open up that hook and loop closure there. There you go. You can see how great the arch support is there, and you can see it as our model turns around and shows her the inside of the foot. You'll also be able to see that. So on our model is the red, has a really cute little buckle, great foot coverage also, just a little bit of dip. There's no toe cleavage there, and these open, I think it shows better in the white. These really nice open perf design, I think they're really sweet and really pretty. And this is the perfect baby doll, Mary Jane style that's going on in the market now. It has always been in style, but trending even more as we go forward into spring next season. So, style Petra. She's really cool because she has sort of an optical illusion on this heel. She's actually a wedge. And even though, I'm going to show you as close as I can get to you. So she's really a full wedge, and you can see that the midsole drops down a little bit. And then you have this wrapped leather heel. And then in the front, when you get into the front, you see that she's got a little bit of an asymmetrical design. Look how beautiful it is on the foot. I have to say that this style is a real sleeper, because once you get it on your customer's foot, she's going to love everything about her. She's going to love that it has a hook and loop closure. She's going to love all the designs, and when you look at all the rickrack and all of the scalloped edging, and then the inside design on top of that, and the way she's an all-day wedge, she really has it all. This is approximately 2 inches in the back. Oh, and let's not forget how comfortable and smushy she is. Okay, Rapture is rapturous, if that's a word. And we love Rapture for a lot of reasons as well. First of all, look at her in the yellow on our model's foot. Okay, the yellow is such a cool color. She's 1.5 inch heel, and it's kind of like, if you can see on the model's foot, just the way she is now, you can see that it's really kind of a westerny, slanty, low heel. And it also has that leather wrapped look. And look at this. I mean, my goodness gracious. Could it be any more delicious and smushy than what you see here? Hopefully you can almost feel it by how we're showing it and on our model's foot. And you can see there's a little bit of sort of overlap here on our model's foot also. And there's some real cool, let's see where we can see it the best. There we go. You have a contrast here in the back strap, and that also has these really great antique spots up the side. Wonderful colors, and look at the red with the brown as far as a contrast. Really cool colorations, the black with the camel, and all day wear, of course, as you can see. Flower Child was named because, as many of you know, it's a flashback, and there we go. So when we were developing her, we wanted to give the customer the experience of sort of living back into the 70s. And when we were making these flowers, we decided that we were going to put as many on the top of the vamp in a bouquet as possible. So as you can see on our model's foot, she really looks like she's wearing a bouquet of flowers. So when you look down at your foot, it brings you so much joy. I mean, look at that. All the pretty colors. She matches everything in her wardrobe. She's got a really nice gentle pitch. It's 2 1/4. And I didn't measure the front, but it looks probably about an inch. Super duper padding, as you can see. All leather lined, all pretty leather flowers with these great sort of inside stems and little sparkles and even some perfs on there, and a slight little driver's heel in the back so you can protect the leather, which wraps all the way around the outsole. Another one of our best sellers is style Erin. And Erin is unbelievable as far as reorders, because once your customer gets this home and she wears her, she's definitely going to come back and get the extra colors because she's so comfortable. So I'm going to show you some of the features on the olive color, and then you'll be able to see it also on our model in the navy. First of all, look at how flexible she is. This is part of our stitched construction where you see that the upper is all cross-stitched. Remember when we were doing all the cross-stitching when we were younger? Okay, all of our jeans had all those patches. Well, this has a similar sort of easy 70s, 80s feel to her. She's got all of these nice cutouts in the front. She's got great foot coverage, so for the gal who does not want to show any part of her foot, she still has that beauty of a summer sandal, and yet she's all closed up. And the interesting part about her is the coloration. So she's not your average ho-hum colored story. Even the white has contrasting brown stitches, and everybody loves a white sandal, and you can see the etch design really clearly here. And this is a hook and loop closure, okay, for adjustability. Again, these are still in turkey. They're all leather lined, leather uppers and leather insoles. Jordana is, I mean, she's just as light as a feather here, and she's a great reminder of the part of the 70s. Remember when we had our Hirachis and we were standing in the water waiting for them to, you know, roll to our feet? Well, it's the same idea. It's that same type of a leather, and you can see how flexible and soft she is. She's got a little bit of stitch detailing here. I think you could see it better in the lighter color. So you can see that same cross-stitch design, and even on our model's foot, you can see that cross-stitch design with that great punch out on the upper. She's got an elastic inside, so it's easy on and off, and yet she stays on, and she's got that contrast stitching right around the outsole. Super duper flexible and very lightweight. Next style is Jintren. Now, what you see on our model's foot is not what you're going to get. These straps across, and I'll talk about them in a minute, they will be more tonal to the upper of that denim leather color. So they won't be as dark of a navy, and I just wanted to point that out. So these are stretch straps. So they are easy in and easy out. And this is another option for the gals who don't want to show any part of their heel. So talk about lightweight and flexible. This has it all. And she's got an amazing arch support inside. And as you can see when our model turns to the front, how beautifully the foot is nestled right in there with just a little bit of peep toe hanging out there. So if your pedicure isn't up to date, all you have to do is touch up the front 2 toes and you're good to go. Great punch outs, again, all leather lined and super duper comfortable. Bellazana is another one of our best sellers. She's been in the line, and she continues to pay her weight because everybody loves her. They won't let us discontinue her because they reorder her. As you know, it's open stock, and that's, you know, part of the joy. So if you haven't tried her yet, it's a good opportunity. You try her in the belly sizes, and then you fill in as you need her. So she has a little bit of a dressier appeal, and yet we're still wearing her with shorts and casuals. She has an adjustable buckle strap that you can wear, that you can tighten up, and she has just a little bit of that peep toe effect and this really pretty cut out scalloped edging all the way around at both sides of the vamp. And you also see a little bit of stitching on the welt and on the outside of the outsole, except for the black, which is tonal. The other colors are contrast. Equally as comfortable and also in this stitched construction, but in this case we have a cork-like bottom that is stitched to the cork. So the insole, still leather, upper, smushy as can be glove leather with a really cool, nice dimensional flower, lots of punch outs and cutouts. She's very flexible also. And the leather insole here, this is a memory foam, and you can see, if I hold her at just the right angle, you can see how far I can push in there with rarely anything. And also on our model's foot, how pretty the red is and how her heel is really nestled in there with just a little bit of that sexy peep toe and that pretty flower top. Viaka is a slide, so again, part of that nice easy in, easy out, great foot coverage. She is also lightweight and very flexible. She has a driver's type heel on this cork-like bottom, but I also wanted to point out all of this great punch-out design and all of this laser cutting design and how the leather goes all the way down onto the side of this really nice lightweight cork design. So I wanted to tell you, I don't have the dimensions to here, but it's probably about 1 1/4 if I had to guess. And she also has a little stretch insert on the inside, so she'll move a lot with you. Laurel. Laurel is another winner for us. She's a bestseller. She's super lightweight, as we've just talked about, and she has that same construction with that driver back heel, and it is a cork-like style. The thing I like about her is that she's kind of like a hippie style because she's got that great foot coverage for our baby boomers. She's soft as can be, and she has this really nice coconut style, natural wooden sort of decorative button here that does have stretch behind her, so she's easy in and out. Really pretty daisy etched design. You can see it really nicely on this white, and very nice foot coverage with a nice padded collar in the back of the heel. Same construction as we just talked about and have been is style Greta. So Greta is that slip-on, easy in, easy out. She has an amazing, nice arch support on the inside. Let me see if I can show it to you better when I open her up, because you can see the hook and loop. So you see all this great air pocketing there. That is right on the, I think you can see it there, right? So you get a little bit of arch support there, so it holds your foot in. You got a twisted asymmetrical 2-layered leather strap with that off-center asymmetrical strap up the side. Leather coming down along the outside in a solid tone-on-tone matching stitch. Elodia. Elodia is really cool. Aside from not seeing any of the metallics yet, she's got a triple treat for you because she's got great adjustability. And you can see even from this position that great instep padding here. So your foot is supported all day long. And as you see on our model's foot in the blue, look how great the coverage is on both sides of the foot and how nestled in, because the back strap, which you can tighten up as for, based on all different parts of your foot, obviously, it comes a little bit higher, so you're nestled in there and you're very secure. She's also flexible. She's leather lined, and she's got that leather footboard, and the leather goes all the way around the back except for that little bit of openness for the driving heel. And we're still in Turkey, everybody. Next style is Justini. Now Justini we started out with some solid colors here, and as you can see on our model's foot and also in this navy, we wanted to add a little pizzazz and a little bit of oomph. And I'm going to show you how pretty this is and how flexible it is, because this is almost like that accordion that I showed you earlier. This is all leather and it's all laser cut, and it's very, very soft. And it has a very cool front where it has just enough of a dip in the front and both sides so that it's got a little bit of sex appeal with that round medallion cutout. And the material that you see on our model is the multi, and it's got a little bit of, you can see it better from the front now as she turns around, it's got a little bit of metallic shine in there depending on how the light hits it, also in this navy as well. Super pretty. And this particular style is approximately 2 1/4 in the back and approximately 3/4 of a platform in the front. And very similar in style with less of a design is the Cunacina. And she also has that nice accordion flexibility. So if the foot, if your customer's foot is a little bit wider, there's a lot of flexibility there for it to sort of mold to the foot. And it is super soft and super smushy. And it has great foot coverage with the leather, again, coming right down along the outside with the tonal stitching. And of course, it is all leather lined and leather insole. This particular style is also 2 1/4 in the back up to the insole. Innocencia. This sounds like such a strong shoe, right? Innocencia. It sounds so, so cool, actually. So here you have great foot coverage also, and that's part of what our ladies love, because as we stand on our feet longer and over the years, and we're wearing less of our high pointy heels, we want our feet to be snuggled and comfortable and sometimes covered. And this has got the great coverage and still looks really young and hip. So particularly liking the fact that as you look at it from the front, you have that nice design where these loops seem to attach. And there is stretch as you get to the top too. So it does move with your customer's foot. And then there's also stretch in the back. So it's easy on, easy off, lots of flexibility, great daisy design on the outside with not only the laser cutting, but also the perfs. And the leather goes right around the side in a little bit more of a swoop design with this cork looking type heel. And she is approximately 2 1/4 high in the front. Nemea is one of the really cool ones that I like because of the edginess that we did when we were developing her. We wanted to make her fully adjustable, which we did, but we also wanted to do something special, and that by adding these, splaying out these straps, and then also putting these antique spots on her, I thought that was a really cool addition to what could be a fairly classic sandal. She's got the leather that is inlaid right around the side and sort of a brushed ombre looking effect on that cork looking bottom. Again, she is leather lined all the way around, including the footbed, and she's got really pretty colors in these very soft shades, including the blush and the blue that you see here. We're going to move into a little bit more flat styles now, a little bit more casuals, and this is a good way for you to get your customers out of sneakers and slippers. So for the all-day comfort that our customers are looking for, these next styles that you're going to see coming up, this is part of the stitch design. This fits the bill for all-day comfort even in the house. Your customers, I know a lot of us in Florida have tile floors, and we don't really go barefoot anymore because it's more comfortable to be wearing shoes inside because of the hardness of the tile. So that could be all over the country, as you know. And these styles that we're going to show you with the rubber bottoms, the stitch detail contrasting here, you can see the stitch uppers and the great designs on the upper. They're not going to want to take them off in the house, so they're even better than a slipper. And really what you have here is you have perfect all-day comfort with that pull tab in the back. So for a more closed Oxford style, we have style Brunetta, and she's got some large sort of air conditioning holes. And again, I want to point out that when we have these laces, you are able to have a little bit more adjustability for the customer who's got a slightly higher arch or a vamp, or she needs a little bit more room in the front, and then you can open or close her as necessary. She's got the same stitch detailing as we showed you. So it's a cross stitch, and then there's another piece of leather on the outsole, and that's also a contrast stitch, and oodles and oodles of flexibility and comfort and padding. Berna. So what can I say about Berna? Berna is probably one of the key items that we have, and she just continues to sell and sell out and reorder and, repeat, repeat, repeat. You could just put her on replay. And that's what we love about her. So this lace that you just saw here, lace up, so I'm going to untie her here. This is really a stretchy lace, as you can see. And that's part of the beauty here, because this lace all the way around will have a little bit of give, because that's what it is. So if you need a little bit more room, I'm not saying you're going to get a whole lot of room, but you're going to get a little bit of oomph. And you can see that nice sharp pay looking effect here just for a little bit of fashion, and it has also that stitch detailing that we've been showing you. And then the only other thing I want to point out, aside from this being probably one of our best reorder styles, one of several, is these little ends. Don't they look like hearts? How cute is that? See, like a little heart on the end, even though they're leather. Okay. So now we're going to talk about Pekiza, and I wanted to show you, I wanted to talk a little bit about our slim orthotics. I'm not going to go into too much detail because most of you are familiar with them now. But Spring Step makes these amazing, very slim orthotic inserts that you can put in many pairs of your shoes. So wherever we have a removable insert, and I'm going to show you how it works in the Pekiza. So Pekiza has the removable insole, and she's pretty padded just as she is as on her own. But when you talk about how the insoles work in here and how slim they are, you just nestle her right in there and you're good to go. So I wear the inserts. I love them. They're slim, they're comfortable. They have a slightly higher arch, as you can see here, and they're slim enough to fit into most of my shoes. Not 100%, but most of them. So one of the things that's so great about them is I wear an 8 and I always get a 7. I always size down a little bit. These are 7, so we're talking about a size 6. And if you want to adjust them or if you want to cut them to fit, you place the insole on the bottom. Oh, the other way around, my bad. So you place the insole that came out of the original shoe and you put it over our slim, you trace it and you cut, and then you have the perfect fit. And I didn't do that with this one, and it still is a perfect fit. But for your perfect fit, you can customize them, and they're super duper comfortable. Okay, so let's go back to talking about style Pekiza. Pekiza has 3 great colors. And, oh, 4 great colors, my bad. So you have the silver in my hand and the pewter on our model, and then you have the gold and you have the shiny black. So we wanted to get people out of their sneakers into a very comfortable sort of athletic style. You've got a silver insert there and then the gray bottom. She's very flexible. She's got a great soft leather upper. She's pretty well priced at $35. So you're talking about a really fashionable leather sneaker with great cutouts, and the back has sort of a what do you call that design? A basket weave design, and that's also in the front, so it covers all the toes there, and you have a very cool hip metallic that you can wear either dressy or casual. One of my personal favorites is the Kayleen for this lace-up. And one of the reasons I really love her is because she looks very psychedelic to me. So again, she's kind of like that flashback that you might like to have from years gone by. And she's got a lot of detail that I want to talk about. So aside from the uppers having all of this nice hologramic looking illusions, so to speak, is you have a stitched upper into the welt part of the outsole. She's super duper cool. And again, anytime you have the lace, you're able to open her up. Look how far she opens up. So really, depending on how much room your customer needs, you've got it covered here. She also is a removable insole, and it is leather, and she also has some contrasting on the tongue in this nice camel color and also in the back. So she's a super cool sneaker looking style, but just a little bit classier and a little bit more updated. So Talisa is another key item for us, and we're going to open up the screen so you could see all the colors. It's a great opportunity for you to either bring her all in at once or sort of stagger your assortments. So let's see what we could do here. We could do a red, white, and blue thing, okay, if you wanted to do a 4th of July sort of promo, or you wanted to do an Americana theme in the store. And then you can even do sort of a holiday assortment, and you can do her in metallics. Okay, so you have the metallics in the 2 colors, and of course you always need to have the black. And then yet you can bring them all in together. So she has that really nice sort of slipper look with great cutouts and great etched designs. She's flexible and she's very comfortable, and this is an all leather upper, all leather lined, and also an all leather footbed. So how many of you know Fasaro? Do you know Fasaro like we know Fasaro? So Fasaro, let me open up this. Okay, here we go. Let's look at all this. She's the coolest. She's probably one of our best reordering styles. As you know and thank you for your support on her. She's been amazing, okay? So she's been so great that we keep adding colors to her. You can do all at once. She's sort of an all year rounder, right? Depending on the climate. There's the new orange on our model's foot. She's all day comfort. I also want to show you how thick this this pull-out insole is. It is almost like its own orthotic, right? And our orthotics do fit in there as well. Let's see if I can find a left. Here we go. So let's take her out in the left. And you can see that she'll slip right in there. And you don't have a whole hell of a lot of room in there, but she fits beautifully, perfectly, and has the perfect arch inside for you, and nothing shows on the outside, right? So because she's so slim. Okay, so there you have her. Let me take her out so we can show her to you again later. So great colorations here. Again, we have that one's availability on some of the colors right now. And because she's been so great, it's a good opportunity for you to try some of the high shades that perhaps you wouldn't normally try because we're open stock. You're able to order just your belly sizes. So maybe you order 237s, 238s, 239s, 40s, and you know, I think we go all the way up on this one too. We have a pretty high size range. We go up to size 44 in the Fasaro. So there's another key feature that I almost forgot to mention. And then also in this Kenyatta, she's also up to size 44. She has that same removable, nicely padded with a very, very nice arch support here. I'm going to show you how you can see with the lighting. There you go. I think you can see it, right? Yeah, you can see that nice bump for that insole. She's really, really cute. She's got some great design elements to her I'm going to point out in the etching because all the way around her, she's got a different design. So as you go around the back, you can see these pretty etched roses, and she goes into the back. She's got the stitched upper to this great, flexible, crazy comfortable, waffly looking bottom. So she's got some pretty good grippy capabilities too. She's got a little bit of a cap toe, and that's etched in the front too with some cutouts, some whirligigs, some triangles. She's got everything here. She's super pretty, very flexible, all day comfort, and more of a ballerina effect, as is our next style that we call Rayleigh. And Rayleigh is also that nice ballerina style that has the removable footbed. And I just want to bring out one thing for Rayleigh is that the white has been discontinued. So just cross that out of your catalog. So we have a really pretty daisy design, right? Very open, that same flexibility, that same nice waffle bottom that has some grippies and flexibility, and just an all-day great city country shoe. Great opportunity to wear her with no matter what's in your customer's closet. That's the other thing I don't think I mentioned earlier. The customers are really looking for some reason to spend their money, and they need color, they need oomph, they need joy, because we have not had any joy lately. So let's talk about some joy. This is sunflowery, and if she doesn't give you joy and she doesn't give your customers joy, you need to point it out to them that if they wear them, that's what this will bring them. Look at the purple on our model's foot. You have the lime and the orange, and then of course you have your key colors, your white and your denim blue. But any way you decide to go with her, if you decide to go with 2 core colors and then 1 pop color, I know your customers are going to be drawn to the fact that you can tell a color story that they don't already own. So I just want to talk about her a teeny bit. She is a lace up, and as you can see, this little button will expand. So again, it's got a little bit of that Mary Jane baby doll look, and depending on how much room your customer needs, you can open her all the way up. These are stretched laces, and then you lace her up how you need her, so she's super duper comfortable. And she also has that leather lining. She's got stitched upper to the outsole, and this outsole is slightly different. She's got a little bit of a different outside line than you have seen prior. Next style is Oralis, and Oralis is more of a covered up style, closed up, so you have perhaps a little bit more wearability. Maybe she's an all year style for you, depending on your climate. She does have a removable insole that is leather lined and nice arch support. She has lots more foot coverage. Just as a side note, white is out, and she has a little bit of a stretch gusset right in the center here. So will have a little bit of a give, a little bit of a stretch, a cap toe effect with the different cutout design where you have etching and cutouts all over the rest of the style and just punch outs in the front. So really cool, great stitch design to the upper, so the outsole is stitched right around the side in a sort of a natural color that blends beautifully. So Amirani, she is Amirani, yeah, I said it right. So Amirani also has the removable footbed with that great insole, and she again is leather lined, and she would be able to have the insole fit right in there, that slim insole. She is also hook and loop closure, and look how cool the cutout is. You can see it mostly on our model's foot. So she's got this giant daisy look in the front, and that's all etching design and all cut out, as you can see from there. And she's a slightly higher, edgier outsole. She's got a little bit of a sawtooth effect. I think she's really cool. I think I did, yes, we talked about that already. And this stitch to upper to the outsole is also in a slightly tonal coloration, as you can see on our model's foot, in the color we're calling light taupe, and a slightly different color in the black. Same construction as the Amirani is Tispia. So Tispia is a little bit more classic. She doesn't have any cutouts. She's smooth, basic, great leather, really soft. She'll just get softer and mold to your foot as we go. She does have a removable insole, and in this case the colors are pretty muted and they're very, very soft. You've got the denim blue and the olive, which are super, super cool. They're very, very neutral, so your customers will be able to wear them with everything in their closet. And then of course you've got the black. Each one of the colors are trimmed in this really pretty camel, and then they have the leather pull in for easy on and off. So whenever I talk about Casbah, I always want to sing that song, like Rockin' the Casbah. I'm going to spare you my singing voice, which isn't, it's sort of like a dog's, howling or something. But so the Casbah has got a lot of great features also. So you can see the multiple straps here, and they're contrasted with a T-strap that has the contrasting camel on all the colors. So you have yellow on our model, and you have this really cool green here, and of course your neutrals, your black and your white with that camel. I also want to point out here that she's got sort of a rugged, edgier outsole, almost like a tire tread on the bottom, and that is, she gives you all day comfort. She's got flexibility, and she also has stretch on both sides, so she's easy in and out. Carmel. Carmel is one of our best sellers. She's got a cork-like bottom. Let me show you to her in the white. I think you'll see her better. So she's really flexible. She's got the stitch detailing, as you can see on our model, and also on the white on the upper. She's got really nice foot coverage, and she also has this really pretty etched, you can see it really well on our model's foot, that really pretty etched embellishment. It has a little bit of a Western or an Indian type motif, and these straps here are all stretch. So all the colors, your white has your multi, but the other straps are tonal and match the uppers, and you have all of your basic colors and that white with the multi. So really pretty, great coverage, and it has a little bit of a cork looking type outsole that's got a great design on it also, and you can see sort of some vertical striping that is sort of molded right into that one-piece outsole. So we're going to leave Turkey just for a second, and we're going to go to Spain. So for Spain, we're going to show you two different styles. We're going to show you your thong style, which is Estelle, and she is on an authentic cork bottom. She's got a lot of padding, a lot of memory foam in there. She also has an adjustable buckle up here, and she's got your just your traditional basic style for this type of a cork bottom shoe that's also very popular in the market right now. And you can see from our model's foot as she turns around how she's nestled right in there in the back, and her heel is all contained all the way around. And then her sibling is called Flossie, And Flossie is available in metallics and also in the solid. So she has the metallic, I think she's called bronze actually, or champagne, and then you have the nubuck color. So you have the champagne, and then you have your red, navy, and charcoal gray, or your black nubuck here. And this also has an adjustable back strap there. I really like the champagne, don't you? So it has that asymmetrical strap there, and also she has the nestling of the foot in the suede, in the socket. There's also a socket in here for your foot so that you can grip a little bit better. Okay, so Whirly, what does she remind you of? Remember when we were kids and we were out in the wind and we went to the fair and we had those whirly gigs? So that's what this reminded us of when we were developing her, and we wanted her to be sort of reminiscent of those fun times when we were a little bit younger. And so we made her with multiple colorations. We made her with a little bit of a wider footbed for perhaps a more mature foot. Or more, just a wider foot. She doesn't have to be mature. And she also has the removable footbed. So I just wanted to show you how padded the footbed is that she comes with, but also how well, this is a size, let's see, this is the 6, and our samples are all 6.5/7s, and she fits right in there really comfortable, and she's nestled right in there for all day comfort. And check out how cool the outsole is. So again, you got that reminiscent throwback of those whirly gigs, and then you have that really sort of throwback 60s, 70s daisy printed bottom. She's really flexible even with our slim orthotic inside. Car Hopper. Car Hopper has a little bit of a reminiscent of a bowling shoe to me, and I really love the way she looks. These straps are all stretch. So it's a one-piece strap that's stretched. So depending on how much room your customer needs, this front whole top of the vamp will move right along with her. And remember the bowling shoes that we used to sort of covet when we were bowling in those days, when we were doing things like that. It has a little bit of an asymmetrical front here, just like our bowling shoes. So when we were developing her, we also wanted to put sort of a multicolored flag here, all different colors. She's got lots of flexibility. She's sort of a crinkle leather upper, so you can see a little bit of crinkling in there depending on how the light hits her. And she's got great foot coverage. She's all year round. She is a key item for us, and she is available for at-once delivery. Another all year round style for us and a best seller is style Smolka. And say that out loud, it's really kind of cool to say Smolka. So Smolka has an adjustable top where there's a little bit of stretch. So there's stretch here, easy, this one's easier to see. So in this olivey color, you can see how much stretch there is, and then you can cover it right up with a little bit of that hook and loop closure. She's got a little bit of a sort of an Oxford stitching design in the front with this really nice full footbed, and she's very flexible. She's all leather, great foot coverage, and also that removable footbed and padded back collar. So the next style we're going to tell you about is Happy. And Happy has a removable footbed also. So I did put our slim orthotic in here, and for me it didn't bother me. She just popped out just a teeny sliver of a bit. Let me see if I can show you what I mean here, just so you know. So you can put your own orthotics in there or a slim, and then with the weight of your foot, she sort of goes right down there. So there's a little bit that comes out. But just to give you an idea, look at how padded this is. You won't even need to remove and put your own orthotic in there. And she also has the sulcus here also, so that when your foot is in there, she's nestled right in there. And Happy also brings happiness, especially in the patent. So the patent leather has a little bit more shine. I'm a clog wearer. I love my clogs. She's super duper comfortable, and she has great foot coverage. And she's a great alternative to a sneaker or a slipper. Cosmic. So Cosmic is also a flashback to me. She's got a really great sort of curvy design, almost like, what's his name? I can't remember his name. Anyway, she does have hook and loop closure, so you can adjust her. She's the perfect baby doll Mary Jane trend that's going on right now in the market. She's multiple colored as far as you have the front, so she's super cute. She's really flexible. I'm barely pushing on her, and she does have that removable footbed, so you are able to put your own orthotic or our slim orthotic in there as well. So the baby doll trend, because of what's going on in the world right now, the baby doll trend is probably one of the fastest growing trends right now, aside from that, what they're calling that ugly shoe trend, that ugly sort of slip-on one where you know, maybe had women in the 70s when, you know, they didn't shave their legs and that kind of thing. Well, they're making a resurgence in what's going on in the market right now. But we're a little bit more tailored than that. So as we move on to Italy, style La Vetta. Look how pretty the color is that you're seeing on our model. So that's the mint color, and what I'm showing you here is the orange. Actually, we call her red. No, we call her, what do we call her? We call her red, and what you see on our model's foot is the turquoise. Now these are real suede. So this is actually suede. You do see this beautiful mosaic print on the top of the strap here. She is very strongly hooked and looped for adjustability, so your foot is really strongly nestled in there, and she has sort of an active bottom, as you can see. So she's got a little bit of an inlay contrasting color that matches the top part of the outsole that is done to look like a rope design. She's pretty lightweight and she's amazingly comfortable. She has a very low pitch, so she's approximately 2 3/16 the measurement on the back. That's a funny measurement, isn't it? And then 3/4 in the front. So she's got a very gentle pitch. And then for those who need the back strap, we always like to give you a slide and also a back strap. Here we're looking at the leather as opposed to the suede, and she has great foot coverage here. And she also has that mosaic, that pretty sort of antique tile mosaic printed strap, and she is fully adjustable. So if you need to tighten her or loosen her, you actually have the opportunity to do that. And that's pretty unusual, and that's part of our paying attention to the details so that you get exactly what you need for your customers. Look how cool this one is. She's a great wedge, and we call her Leilana. Beautiful, beautiful coloration. She's a great slide, and she may look like she's a big high, tall wedge, but because of that front platform, she really has a very gentle pitch. So it's 3.5 from the top to the bottom, and then when you get to the front platform, she's 1.5. So she's really just got a gentle 2-inch pitch, right? All of the uppers are suede, are genuine suede, and they all match and blend beautifully into this gorgeous sort of old town. When you go into all the old towns in, you know, Portugal and Spain and in Italy, where these are from, you see a lot of these old tiles and the beautiful tile mosaic works, and that's what this was reminiscent of to us when we were developing her. And then somebody also said that it reminded him of a stained glass. So that's also a really pretty way to think of these. They're very joyful, they're very colorful, they'll match everything in a girl's wardrobe. And again, it's accessories where she's really going to focus because her feet didn't really grow that much during all of this sequestering at home. So next style is a back strap with that same mosaic wrapped adjustable strap. And here we have a little bit of stretch in the back strap, but look at this great platform here in the mosaic. So you have it in the 3 primary colors, your black, white, and your red. So some really, really strong coloration, and then a lot of fun on the bottom. This is a 3 7/16, so it's 3.5, just about as a heel, and a 1.25-inch front platform. So again, a very gentle all-day slope with lots of padding and lots of comfort. Virgil's really neat because she's very cool as a slide. I'll tell you that I love the fact that we've got this tortoise shell looking buckle, which is really modern, and yet it has a little bit of vintage-ness to her. And she's got a wrap on the top of the outsole, so this is all one piece. The bottom is the same color as what you're going to see on the leather uppers, and then she's wrapped in what looks like and is to resemble sort of a jute accent on the strap. On the outsole rather, and you look at the front pitch and you look and see how gentle the slope is, and you look and see the shape of the heel, and everything about her just screams and oozes fashion, all day comfort, especially when you're talking about how great your foot looks in her and all the great foot coverage. You're going to want to wear her all day long. And she has a sibling. Her sibling's name is Wendell, and Wendell is the same construction, but in this case she has the back strap, and the back strap has attachments to metallic. So you have leather cross strap, as you can see, and then you have that textile asymmetrical metallic straps that go in the front and also down the side. So you have the camel with the gold, the black with the pewter, and the white with the silver. So really cool color combinations and that same gentle pitch for all day comfort. Tribeca is really pretty also and very joyful in the way of colors. So on our model's foot you see the blue, and then it has really just shades of blue along with that natural textile cross strap, and the other bottom strap on the blue, and also on the blue I think is suede, and these two are smooth leathers. So you have the yellow with the multicolor, which I think is stunning, and then you have the white with more organic colors in the beiges, tans, and also the white. This particular shoe has a 3.5-inch heel to the top of the footbed and a 1.25-inch platform. So again, a very gentle all-day slope. And her sister is called Tiata, and Tiata has the back strap, which an adjustable buckle with stretch behind her. You have the white with great foot coverage, and then you have the beige with a little bit of the accent on the yellow, and that has the same dimensions, 3.5 with 1.25. Another great slide is Mercury, and Mercury has a printed leather upper with nice, great padded insole, all day comfort. And I haven't been talking about price at all, but these are still made in Italy. And when you talk about pricing, look, it's in between the nines, right? So it's $25 for a $60 MSRP. So you're talking about unbelievable made in Italy value, open stock, you can fill in, you can get some great colors. And when you wanted to show your customer the catalog, you just bring out the catalog and you say, hey, you need the Turk, you got the Turk. They'll never know what the pricing is because it's all in that secret code. So just so you know, this wedge is 3 inches to the top of the footbed and 1 3/4 in the back. So again, a very, very nice gentle pitch with amazing foot coverage. We're still in Italy, and we have so many customers that love the thong. And this little baby, this Tiffany, has been in the line, and she is a great reorder piece. So she also has great foot coverage, lots of flexibility. She's very lightweight. This outsole is a cork-looking outsole, and she's probably about not quite 2 inches. And she has a really, really comfortable toe puffs there with great laser cut daisy design in the front. Style Goosely, also made in Italy, we're going to continue in Italy, is a very, very classic back strap or sling back style. And the specialness about her is, aside from her being a great reorder style, is that she's got this really fun outsole, cork looking outsole, where the bottom has a little bit of a rope design that's molded right into that whole cork looking design. And when you get to the front, she's got great foot coverage. She can be worn both casual and dress. She's got a 2 1/4 inch back with a 3/4 inch front with amazing foot coverage and a very gentle slope. So the next style, Estella, is a bestseller for us. She's one of our great reorder styles. And what we have here is a combination of smooth leathers and also nubuck. So these three are your nubuck colors, your black, your denim blue, and your tan. And then you have your smooth leather, which is the red and the white. And then you have 2 colors in the nubuck fancies, or the prints. Okay, so Estella is one of our best sellers. She's got amazing comfort. There's your navy multi, and here is your white multi that you can see. So there's a little bit of, perhaps a little bit of shine, depending on how the light catches her, a little bit of metallic in that nice floral print. And then you have your option of the 3 nubucks, which are very soft. And then you have your 2 smooth leathers. Lots of padding here, and also a wonderful alternative for your gal that doesn't want to wear a regular slipper and she just wants to have a slide. So this is a great opportunity for her to wear something a little bit more classy. So the same idea as Estella is Orella, another one of our key items with lots of colors. So we have, again, let's get them a little organized here. We have our nubucks, and then we have our smooth leathers. So your smooth leathers are here in these three colors, your black, white, red. And then you have your nubucks in your, also a black, a beige, and also you have this really pretty peach color. So all year round comfort in many of our climates. It's sort of a more mature style, but we have a lot of our younger gals wearing these now because they're so cool as to what's going on in the market right now. Remember, it's all about comfort. She's got a little bit of sex appeal with that nice little deep V peep toe. Just those three pretty colors in our models. You can see that pretty red nail polish poking through there. And all day comfort and great reorder. So a really good opportunity for you to order your key basic colors and just splash a little bit of fashion around her with the colors. So jacozing, look at this price, and I keep forgetting to point out how well priced these are. This is $29.50 for a leather upper, made in Italy. She's got great style. She's really pretty as far as this metallic, a little bit of sparkling, just very, very subtle materials. And this is a nubuck print. Okay, so we have, again, a very gentle scalloped edge, and you have a 2 1/4 inch wedge in the back and a 1/2 inch, just a slightly higher 1/2 inch in the front platform. All day comfort, all types of wearing occasions, casual and dress. And then her sibling is Sabara. And Sabara is a nubuck, and the nubuck has these little diamonds in them. So I see, depending on how the light hits her, you can see a little bit of crystal, almost like the diamonds we wear in our ears. When we turn our heads and the light hits her just in the right way, we have just the right amount of, sort of pop and shine that we like. Subtle, nothing in your face. And that's what Sabara is all about. So she has that same nice padded insole, and these are all nubuck with the crystal diamonds embedded inside. Abigail's a little bit higher. So let's tell you, she's approximately 3. She's slightly higher than 3 inches, and then she's slightly higher than 1 in the front. She's got the smooth that you see here in the white, and then the nubuck in the blue and also the beige and the black. Really pretty cutout, I think, and again, just that really nice pretty V cutout for your peep toe, and such a gentle slope, so she's all day comfort on this nice padded insole. So again, a great slide, Dora. She's a key item for us, and she's only $27.50, so you're talking about a made in Italy for under $70, right? She's got really pretty cutouts and great foot coverage on the front with these, there's a trio of straps that you can see, and also on our model. She's wearing the smooth, as is, let's see, I think these are nubuck. These 3 are nubuck, and then the smooth is in the white. Really pretty, basic, nice slide, all day comfort, and nice padding on the inside for made in Italy. So Gail is one of those styles that she just keeps on going, like the Energizer Bunny. She just keeps going. And as you can see, we have 3 blacks in Gail, okay? So let's talk about that. Who needs 3 blacks, right? Well, we do, because you guys keep reordering them. So on your model, you have a little bit dressier style in the patent, and our more mature customers absolutely love Gail, and that's who's buying her, and that's who insists on us keeping them in the line. And we've even got additional colors when we talk about a white and a tan. So let's go back to the black. We have the patent on our model's foot. We have the smooth here for something that's a little bit more casual, and then perhaps in a colder climate, your customer wants a suede. So we have all 3 options depending on where the climate is and where your customers and where your stores are. And then the nubuck is also in the beige, and the white is in the smooth. So she's really got a one-piece bottom. She's super flexible. I'm going to show you to her in the white. She's got a really pretty design in the front, right? With just a little bit of that peep toe for your customers and just a little bit of opening there and lots of coverage. So she's a 2-inch in the back heel and she's approximately 3/8 inch on the front. So she is an all-day comfortable style with adjustability in the back for that customer. And then adorable is really adorable also. So when you're talking about our more mature customer, she really does want to be adorable. And so that's why we have adorable. So there's 2 colorways here. She is a little bit higher than what we just showed you in Gail. She's 2 1/4 with a 1/2 inch in front. And what you see here is a combination. It's mostly, yeah, now you can see it better on our model's foot. So you have a little bit of metallic in the bronze color, and she's got that little bit of flash with that snake print leather, and then here on the black you have the smooth black with that black shiny sort of snake print there, and a one-piece, lots of padding, and she is also leather lined. Twyla also has a removable footbed, and as you can see on our model's foot, she's wearing the beige multi. And I was going to put the insole in that one, so somehow we got switched up. I don't know what happened. But they are removable. And which one do I have here? The right? Okay. So it is a removable footbed, and you can see that you can slip this in, either our slim orthotic or your customer's very own orthotic. What you have here is amazing foot coverage, and yet you've got all these open perfs, and you have lots of stretch here. So there's a customer out there who again loves these colors, and so we did add that little multi beige in the nubuck color for her because this is a key item for certain stores. Okay, let me take this back out and give you this. Next style is Sabri. Now Sabri, look at the price there, is $24.50. So talk about being trend right for that baby doll and that little Mary Jane look. Look how flexible she is. She's super duper comfortable. She's got a really pretty scalloped edge. She is also hook and loop closure. And you know, funny and crazy as it is, and with all this openness, she has a removable footbed. So our slim orthotic does fit in there, as your customers will as well. And the reason, one of the reasons I really like her a lot is because for the gal who wants to wear a closed up shoe, both toe and heel, she's got a lot of openness. So it has a lot of elements to being summery and springy, and yet you can wear her all year round as well. Just put on a pair of tights or a pair of socks and you're good to go for all year round. Look how pretty the cutouts are in that laser cut design. Pare was super cool, and I want to show you something that's kind of amazing to me when we tried her. So she also has a removable. Now she's a slide or a clog, or not quite a mule, but very, very flexible. She's got this great stitch design. So the upper is stitched to sort of where the leather comes up over the, not a midsole, but part of that upper design. And then the, can you see it here? You can see how cool the outsole is. It's got a slight arch here, and she's got a little bit of a dip here, so she's very, you know, sort of shaped to the foot. But I want to show you something that's really interesting. So you do have a removable insole, and it's kind of unusual for a clog or a slide, but I want to show you how great this fits in here. I tried it on earlier, and I wear our insoles. Look at, you can't even see it. How crazy is that? So that's how slim these slim orthotics are and how comfortable, especially when, like I have a higher arch support and I need that arch support. And it's an anatomic design also, which we really didn't talk about. So she is shock absorbing. She's got all this technology in her. And when you wear her, what she does is she sort of balances your foot so that you're not pronated one way or the other. And yet she enables your hips and your sort of the upper part of your hips and your pelvic area to be perfectly aligned. So that's what I love about her, and she's really comfortable for me. Style Streetwise. Streetwise has been in the line for a while. Again, $24.50 for an all leather shoe. She comes in wides. So part of that baby doll Mary Jane look, she's perfect. She's got great foot coverage. Look at how cute the bronze is. And the other thing that I really like about her, aside from all the open cut work she's got and all the flexibility, she's got a removable footbed, And she's also got this little racing stripe in the back. How crazy is that? And look how pretty the footbed is. I don't know if you can see her, but it's all flowers. Can you see her? Look at, she's all flowers on the bottom of the footbed. So she's got great shelf appeal. She's wides and mediums, and your customer's really going to love her if she has especially the need for a closed up all year round style, which we have in stock. Mirth is a great alternative again to the sneakers. She's a slip-on. She has this great beautiful metallic color that we're calling gold. Super duper flexible. Look at her price, $24.50. So she's got the stitched detailing all the way around. The upper is stitched right to the outsole. She's got a really pretty laser cut design on the front with the cutout. Can you see how pretty that is? So all these cutouts are laser cut and etched around them. And then on the back, she's got this really pretty etched design with no cutout, but just a really nice design. So it's all the way around with this leather pull tab there. So you have pretty colors. You can do a red, white, a really pretty red, white, and blue story on our model there. And then you can, of course, add, if you wanted to do some sort of a more seasonal type of a presentation, you can bring your red, white, and blue in for sort of the summertime, and then your all year rounds. And don't forget, your customers are starting to come down to Florida also. So if you're in a colder climate and you're starting to see some customers come out and look to fill their wardrobes, the car carriers are on their way. They are here. They are unloading their cars in Florida. So they're coming down. And why would you want them to buy some of these looks down here? That way you can offer them to them up by you, and we have at once availability. So, Saziere, she's a really, really pretty uppered, nubuck printed sneaker look. Much prettier than your average bare sneaker that you see out there. She's a fireworks display, a celebration on your foot. What you see here is in the off-white color with the pretty colors, and I'm not sure where the navy is. But there is also a really pretty dark navy color that's almost looks like a black color, and it's got a lot of shine and a lot of glitz and a lot of glitter. So this also does have a removable insole, and it has all of this scalloped edging and stretch on both sides. Ask and we shall receive. Here it is. So this is really a dark, dark, dark navy, right? She looks almost black, so you could wear it together with your black. But I'm loving both colors, and these are easily all year round types of a sneaker in the nubuck. And look at how great the price is. So it's under $60 for a leather, and I love the edgy outsole. So a lot of us here are waiting for these to come in because we all want them. Okay, moving along. So soft Sedell, light as a feather, super duper light. And again, for those of us who likes clogs or slide or easy in and out, this is a really cool marshmallowy, soft, really super soft upper leather. And she also is a removable footbed, so you can put the slim orthotic in there as well. But I mean, really, I wanted to show you, these are really kind of thick, and they're also very padded. And it even has great shelf appeal because of all the etched flowers on the inside. So super comfortable, a little unusual where we have the gray, you have that turned up front in a sneaker, and a splayed out sort of marshmallowy bottom. And her sister here is that Mary Jane look. So you have both a slide and also the baby doll Mary Jane look. And this is Shirley. Shirley is a hook and loop closure. She's got the same nice lightweight flexibility with that marshmallowy type bottom and all that pretty insole design. I don't know if you could see it, there you go. So you have that there, and she is removable. She is available in the navy and also in the black and a tan. And the next style we have here is Rangris. So Rangris is really cool. She's medium only. I know for a while there she was listed as wides, but she is medium only. But she's really got a very full footbed, so you are going to be able to get a wider foot in there. And because of the adjustability, you even can get a higher arch or a higher foot in there as well. She's a sneaker type bottom. She's flexible and soft. She is removable on the insole, And the thing that I like best about her are the materials. So she's leather upper, and in this particular case, what we're looking at is a soft gold, and on our model's foot, you have the navy, and she's showing you how pretty that navy is and how the light catches it. With the white bottom, it also has on the very bottom of the sole the contrasting color to the upper. So she's really cool, and she has a really pretty sort of embellishment on that strap. Racer. Racer always reminds me of an Italian bicyclist. So we're talking about the Grand Prix of bicycling, and I pictured them in this type of a sneaker, even though theirs have clips. But she's very streamlined, almost like a Lamborghini or a Lotus. She does have a zippered front, so she's easy in and out. And the thing that I like about her is there's a lot of design elements. So you see a little bit of a rickrack design there, and when you open her up, so you have that there. You can keep her open, as some of the kids are wearing sort of their laces open and their zippers open. It's a more relaxed look, so it has a little of a younger feel. And then you have the rickrack all the way around. So it's a nylon upper. She's really flexible with that contrast sporty white design. And the one other thing that I want to show you is the insole. So she's not removable, but she's got great shelf appeal because, as you see from the insole, she's got orange up the side, which I think is really cool. And again, very Italian looking and very cool. And again, you're looking at a price point of under $60 for a suede and mesh combination. So we have two more styles to talk about, and they're both really special. So the first one I want to talk about is Tender. And for those of you who aren't familiar with Tender, she's a super cool style because she's all year round. She packs well, she's stretchy, she's flexible. Any sort of foot ailment your customer has, like you talk about the most problem feet in the whole wide world, and they're going to love Tender because she's such a soft knit. And she's got great foot coverage, right? And she's easy in and out. So aside from that, she's flexible, she's waterproof in there. She also has a removable footbed. And the reason I'm pointing that out is because now this thing's ready to go in the washing machine. You throw her in the washing machine, you're good to go. You pull her out, and then you lay her out to air dry, and she can be worn. She can be worn in the garden, she can be worn at the beach, she can be worn as traveling. I know when Diane and I do the shows together, she is always wearing her Tender, and she probably has all the colors now. We just added the silver and we just added the gold on our model's foot, but I think Diane has all of the colors here. And it also has a sulcus on the inside of the sulcus pad on the inside of this footbed. Yeah, I got it. Okay, last but hardly least, because it's our favorite and we all have her now, I know when we were developing her, we wanted to do something special. We wanted to make her hip enough so that she could be worn by our younger customers, and yet functional enough so that everybody would want to wear her all year round, which is what's happening. So Ava just bought her and she took her to Bulgaria and she had a great time in her. She was super comfortable. And then Ava's daughter bought her also. So we're talking about generational. Super duper cool. She does have a removable footbed, just so you know. You can see her in there. She's got this pass-through here, so she's rain-proof. You can wear her in the garden, you can wear her in the rain, you can wear her in the snow. She's got stretch as a Chelsea type, and this great long sturdy pull, because when you're waterproof, you don't have any zippers in there, and that's what we've got here for Yasmin. We're getting great sell-throughs and great reorders in here, and this is a good option for you to get at once delivery for this time of the year. I mean, we've been going through a rainy season that's just like been knocking our socks off, and hurricane season is still here, and you guys are getting snow early in certain parts, so this is a great all year round sneaker type waterproof bootie. Okay.